This week I wanted to look at ways to improve your duplicate bridge results, and I was inspired to do this video because I came across this letter in Bridge magazine this month, and I'm often asked questions like this. I'll just read it out to you. I've been playing duplicate bridge for the past 2 to 3 years. I've had training, currently play at a bridge club which is very friendly. I'm usually at the bottom of the leaderboard, which I'm not happy with. Is there anything you or I can do to improve my bridge ability? I would like to hear from you soon. See if you can help, as I have a friend who suggested I contact you. And it's an interesting letter. It was published in the magazine. No reply as yet, but perhaps they're hoping other people will write in with their suggestions. Well, here are my thoughts on what you can do. You can try and find some bridge books you like reading, read up about various things where you think you might be going wrong. Maybe play online or look at No Fear Bridge or other websites. No Fear Bridge is an excellent one with bags of resources. I'd also suggest you play more, but perhaps the biggest thing that you can do is to look at your results and try and analyse them. Try and see where you went wrong. Look not just at your bad results, but at any unusual results on hands you played, where you ended up in an unusual contract, for example. So let's have a look at some examples of this. I'm going to use some hands that were actually played earlier in June at Pinner Bridge Club. And this is one of the hands. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see suggested bidding. West has got one no trump opener, and if North overcalls, my suggested way of dealing with that, if that's a natural overcall, is to Q-bid the opponent suit, which is treated as stayman. If you weren't playing that convention, you would probably just jump to 3 hearts, a forcing bid, and you'd end up in 4 hearts anyway. Anyway, as you can see from looking at the results here, most people did end up in 4 hearts. So let's have a little closer look at that. We're looking at the hand and the results here. And the first thing from looking at the results on this board is that I can see 2 people were not really in the right contract. One person ended up in 3 hearts, and one ended up in 3 no trump. Now, the makeable contracts are shown here is that East-West should be able to make 12 tricks in hearts, or just 8 tricks, making 2 no trump. So definitely you want to be in game there, and you can see those who didn't, the one who didn't bid game, one who bid 3 no trump, got bad scores for that one. So if that was you, try and figure out what was wrong with your bidding. How did you get to the so-called wrong contract? Another one I want to look at here is the result. I can see that when this was played in hearts, 4 declarers only made 11 tricks, rather than the 12 tricks that were possible on this hand. How did they go wrong? Well, I don't know, but if you played a hand like this and see you didn't make the maximum number of tricks, try replaying it. Try finding out why you went wrong. And you know, I can look at this and speculate a bit on it. How perhaps someone didn't draw trumps. Another one maybe is maybe they didn't rough diamonds, or maybe they didn't try the club finesse. We're going to replay this hand in a minute and sort of show you how you should have played it. But either of those things could lead to the loss of a trick. And I can see one more thing on here, that someone played it in 4 hearts by East, and South appears to have made the opening lead of the 2 of clubs. Now that's a very unusual lead. First of all, it's not even 4th highest. And secondly, did your partner bid diamonds? Did North not bid on this hand? In which case it's not, it's a lead you might choose. But if North did bid diamonds, then South really should have led a diamond if they ended up on lead. So these are all things for you to look at. And finally, have a look at this last one, 3 no trump by West on the lead of the King of Diamonds, actually made 9 tricks, whereas it really should have been defeated. Why was it not defeated? What happened? We don't really know, but let's try replaying this hand and see if we can see how at least it should have gone. So here's the hand with the recommended bidding and West being in a contract of 4 hearts. North leads the King of Diamonds, and let's try and make a plan on this hand. Let's try and see what losers we have in each suit and how we're going to avoid them. Do we have any spade losers? Not really. Hearts? Well, we have 1 loser at least for sure, missing the King and the Queen. Diamonds? We don't have any losers if we can ruff those 2 diamonds in the east hand. And the only losers in clubs is 1 possible club. And there's no real other way to try and avoid that other than by finessing in clubs. So that's what we're going to plan to do. All those things to try to make 12 tricks. So let's win the first trick with the ace, and we may as well play a diamond now. This gets us to dummy and also gets rid of 1 of those diamond losers. And the reason to be in dummy is we're going to draw trumps now. And the recommended way to play the combination like this, where you're missing the King and the Queen, is actually to finesse twice. In other words, lead the Jack of Hearts. If South plays low, play low from our hand, and North wins King on this occasion. Suppose North shifts to a spade. We don't know what they play. We can win that one, and now we're going to play hearts again. We'll lead another heart, but here South plays the Queen, so there's no guess here. We'll take the ace, and North follows suit. So if you're counting, that's all the hearts gone. All right. What else? Well, we're going to ruff another diamond. Okay, that's our last diamond. And we've got spades to cash. Okay. And at some point, we're in our hand and we're going to play the clubs. And there's nothing to be gained by playing the ace here. We'll play the Queen. It will lose to South's King if they've got it. And when they don't have it, we'll cash the club and claim the last trick. So that one should be relatively straightforward to make 12 tricks, but as I said, not everyone made it. Let's switch back to our show and look at another hand that was played that evening. Here the recommended bidding is 1 heart, 1 spade, 4 hearts by South. And you can actually see that everyone played it in 4 hearts by North. So whether you bid it that way or some other way, the final contract here was 4 hearts. So let's have a look at the travel. You may think there's not too much to look at here. First thing I'm going to say, though, is those leads are not all the same. Most people led the Queen of Spades, but there are 3 unexpected, and I'm calling them wrong question mark leads. So 2 people led the 2 of clubs, and 1 person led the 10 of spades. Now, leading the 10 of spades, you might think, is equivalent to the Queen. It won't cost you a trick on this occasion, but it's definitely the wrong lead. If you led the 10, you need to brush up on your opening leads. And the lead of a 2 of clubs is an odd one. I don't know why anyone would lead the 2 of clubs unless perhaps their partner bid clubs at some point. I wonder how that could have happened. Perhaps if North didn't open the bidding and South bid 1 of a suit, maybe West would have a chance to bid clubs. So that's a bit odd. If that happened to you, if you were sitting north and you didn't open the bidding, you should definitely have a look at this hand. You can see you've got 11 points in the north hand, and with 2 5-card suits, it definitely meets the rule of 20. So if you passed with that hand, perhaps that led to a club lead. Okay, so we don't really know what happened looking at it, but you will know if you played this hand. Finally, 2 people made 12 tricks. Now, if you look at the makeable contracts here, we can see that in a heart contract, you should only be able to make 5 hearts, i.e. 11 tricks. So most people made exactly that, but 2 people managed to make an extra trick. How did that happen? Well, if we look at the hands together, we'll replay this one in a minute, but we can see that the only losers that North has are 1 spade, which they can ruff, no hearts, and they're going to lose at least 1 diamond. Okay, so say maybe somehow the opponents played in such a way to help declare and make that 12th trick. So if that was you, you need to have a think about that. I think it's East who has the possibility of making a mistake on this one. So let's have a look at the replay of that one. And there it is, 1 heart, 1 spade, 4 hearts. The recommended lead there was the Queen of Spades, which declarer wins. And what would you do as declarer? Well, you might start by drawing trumps. I wasn't expecting to lose any hearts there. Play the ace, play another heart, and draw that last trump. All the trumps have gone now. So the only thing you're going to do now is play diamonds. And if you lead a diamond, as I was saying, it's probably East who has to make the right decision here. If you click on this GIB button, you can actually see that if East plays the ace here, he's playing his ace on nothing, he's failing to play second hand low, and he gives declarer an extra trick there. The same is actually true if he plays the 10. You might be worried that declarer is going to try and win this trick with a 9. But generally speaking, you should just play second hand low, let declarer guess what to play. Don't make it easy for him. If you play the 10, again, he can make an extra trick there. So just play low here. The king will win the trick. And now if declarer plays a diamond back, he has to play the queen, which will lose to the ace. And now East, you'll make a second diamond trick. Your 10 is promoted there. Nothing declarer can really do about that. Okay. Whatever happens now, declarer will play the last spade, ruff that last spade, and then he'll be able to claim the remaining tricks with good diamonds and good hearts in his hand. So that's it, just a couple of example hands showing how you might analyze a hand in order to try and figure out whether you made a mistake. And of course that will be a lot easier for you if you actually played the hand, so you know exactly what happened. You can have a look at all my bridge videos on Tony Store Bridge class. Just click on one of the links there, and I hope you found this video useful.